Welcome to the first ever installment of the Roundtable featuring Q30 Television, QBSN, and the Chronicle. I'm Ava Heaton, here with QBSN's Emma Morris and the Chronicle's Claire Frankland, and today's topic of discussion is Quinnipiac men's and women's ice hockey as both teams had home series this past weekend. Jumping straight into it, after starting in both games this weekend for men's ice hockey and earning 37 saves, has Matej Marinov proven himself to have sole possession of the net going forward?
In my opinion, yes, he does. He is in the back of the net when the team and Coach Pecknold needs him the most. He was in the back of the net against Notre Dame, which was in the Icebreaker tournament. They lost the previous night against Alaska Fairbanks. And then he fought hard in Friday's game against Maine. He climbed himself back from a very much 1v1 situation with a lot of the goals. He didn't let a goal pass the second period. And then he went on Saturday night and recorded a shutout.
Yeah, Ava, I'm going to have to agree with Emma here. I think especially this weekend against Maine, he really proved himself. You know, he had 37 saves this weekend. He has, so far this season, he has 2 wins and a tie, with 1 win this weekend against Maine in Saturday's 4-0 shutout, and with the tie on Friday's matchup. And he really recorded there an unofficial win when they went into the shootout there, not letting any of Maine's athletes even get a chance of scoring in that attempt.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you. I think he absolutely has earned sole possession of this net. I do think Dylan Silverstein will start on Tuesday against Holy Cross just because it is such a quick turnaround from playing back-to-back games this past weekend. And if you look at their stats, compared to, one compared to the other, Marinov is 2-0-1 with a 196 goals against and a 909 save percentage. And then Silverstein is 1-1 with a 256 goals against average and an 857 save percentage. So it's a small sample size for both of them because the season has just started, but mixed with how they both ended last season. Obviously, Silverstein did come in and end up playing in Allentown last year in the regional, but they lost that game. And Marinov really, I think, proved himself in the ECAC quarterfinals against Brown. So I really do think this is Marinov's net to lose at this point. And I truthfully think he has proved himself to have the net at his disposal going forward.
Heading over to the women's side, Kayla LaMarche scored 7 goals this weekend, becoming the player in both men's and women's with the most goals scored in 7 years in a weekend series. What should fans expect from her heading into the rest of the season?
You know, LaMarche is a really strong asset for the women's team. This season, she's really helped them get such a strong start to their season. Right now, her shooting ability is incredible for them. She has 47 shots so far on the season, and she really has a great way of seeing the ice. She's recorded 12 goals so far, but along with those goals, she also has 7 assists, which really goes to show how she's really able to read the play. She's able to read the ice and be able to make those plays for the Bobcats and generate those plays while also being able to finish them strong and really help them get the upper hand on their opponents.
I think you said it perfectly, Claire. I think LaMarche is the player to watch on Quinnipiac women's ice hockey, and maybe in women's ice hockey overall right now. She is just dominant on all facets of the game right now. She has proven herself time and time again, and what to expect from her? More goals. I don't think it's crazy to say that she's the front runner for ECAC Player of the Year, and she's going to continue to break records like that. She has proved that she cannot be stopped, and I would 100% expect that to continue with her.
I think you guys have summed it up perfectly. For me, I think it's yet again pretty clear. Dominant goal scoring. She's going to be the one who goes out onto the ice when Coach Turner is like, hey, I need somebody to score a goal. She's going to go out there and do it.
So now broadening it up to both teams, how do you guys see this year's newcomers really impacting their performance so far for both teams?
I think it is for sure more on the men's side than the women's side. I mean, Ethan Wittenbach has 6 points in their first 5 games. He leads the team in goals with 4. Antonin Vereau, 5 points in 5 games. Marcus Vidicek, 4 points in 5 games. Will Gilson, 4 points in 5 games as well, and he leads defensemen on the team right now. And I just think it's really showing how intense the impact of these newcomers are, whether they're a first year or a transfer student in the case of Will Gilson. But something I noticed this weekend with the team's power play was one of the units that Coach Pecknold was running was Chris Pelosi, Ethan Wittenbach, Marcus Vidicek, Antonin Vereau, and Graham Sword. On that power play unit, there is only one returner, and that is Chris Pelosi, and he was a first year last year. So the way that these newcomers are stepping up into these bigger roles immediately, they're only 5 games into the season, is truthfully so impressive to me. And we saw it last year with the team too. Newcomers and first years played a big role. And this year, especially with the new CHL players coming into the NCAA, they are making their presence felt right off the bat. And that's what the Bobcats need if they're going to go on a national championship run this year.
Kind of piggybacking off what you said, Ethan Wettenbach is the one to look out for on the men's team for me. He leads the team in goals with 4 and has a shot percentage of .500. That's really impressive. He's the only one to score in the shootouts against Maine on Friday. Looking over to the women's team, though, for me it's Alex Law. Yes, she has not played all 8 games, but in the games she has played in, her impact was there. She is leading charges, she's scoring goals, she had the hat trick. Both teams have a really good set of newcomers coming in. I cannot wait to see what they accomplish.
You know, I'm really going to have to agree with the both of you there on both your points about men's and women's hockey here. Ethan Wittenbach coming in as a freshman, he's really making his presence known. He's really being dominant out there for Pecknold and the rest of the squad. And like Ava said, this weekend specifically, you're really seeing Pecknold putting his newcomers out there, putting those freshmen out there, and giving them the opportunities on the power play to really go out there, generate and create chances for the Bobcats. And like Emma said, going over to the women's team, Law coming in as a transfer, she has been really impactful. She had the hat trick against Providence, which really helped solidify that win for the Bobcats. And, you know, they just have really great newcomers this year, both of the squads, and I think they're really going to help them this year, like, go very far.
Now, taking a look at both teams' special teams, what has gone right for them and what needs to be improved for both teams going forward?
I think both teams got off to a little bit of a shaky start. They weren't scoring in the early games, but now the men have found their rhythm. They're scoring a lot on the power play. The only thing is to make sure they don't rely too heavy on scoring during the power play. That killed them last year, but penalty kills look good for them. Women's, it's been 50-50 with them. They're getting a lot of chances. They're just not being able to produce. Their penalty kill has looked solid. There's been a little bit of holes in there here and there, but other than that, their penalty kill has been good.
Yeah, I fully agree with Emma there. You know, both teams were off to a little bit of a shaky start. Before this weekend series, the men's team was 1 for 11 on the power play. They were able to step it up this weekend, though. In the Saturday's matchup, they scored 3 of their 4 goals on the power play, especially with the 2 5-minute majors they got, really helping them get over Maine in that battle. And just going to the women's team, you know, kind of similar thing. They had a shaky start. They've had the opportunities. They're 5 for 29 on the power play this season. It really hasn't affected them all that much. In hindsight, they have been able to come out and be dominant in the end, but we'd like to see those numbers go up. You know, if they want to continue their dominant effort that they've had so far and their undefeated season, they really got to step up and they got to be able to finish on those power play chances.
Yeah, I 100% agree with both of you. I think on the women's end of it, yes, they've been struggling, but it clearly hasn't impacted their winning abilities. I mean, they're, like you said, they're undefeated at the moment. So clearly, yes, they would like to see those numbers go up, but as of right now, it's not the biggest issue in the world. On the men's side, I 100% agree with what you said, Emma, about relying too heavily on the power play. They fell into that trap last year, and when the power play struggles with the Bobcats, the offense struggles. 2 of the team's 8 goals against Maine were scored at even strength this past weekend. So that means 6 of those goals were scored on the power play or with Matej Marinov pulled. So they need to find ways to generate 5-on-5 offense. That's going to be the key to success if they want to go far in the season and in the postseason. And like we talked about the power play unit with 4 newcomers of the 5 on it, that's what's going to need to happen. And it obviously is not something that's going to click right away. Power play and penalty kill is something that happens over time, and especially when you have so many newcomers playing on it, it's not going to be an immediate click, but they're showing signs in the right direction. It's just trying to teeter, not falling on relying too heavily on the power play. Well, I want to thank both of you guys for joining us on the debut of the Roundtable. Make sure to follow all of our organizations on social media and check out all of the websites. For Claire Frankland and Emma Morris, I'm Ava Heaton. Thanks for tuning in to the Roundtable.